Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to the Méara Things YouTube channel. Today is I have no idea, the 17th of December 2023, I think. And today is a little bit of a special video because I will be trying to do a sweater roundup for this year. So I will not do a video of everything I need in 2023 because I keep track of everything I need on an app on my phone, and it says I have finished 45 projects this year. A lot of them are smaller stuff, but it's still a lot, so I won't do a video for all of that. So we will try to only do the sweaters. I have a pile next to me, so this is half of them. I have 4 here, and then those 3, which makes a total of 7. Which is more than enough for a single video. You can find me on Instagram as milahism.things, and I will put the links of everything I talk about down in the description box, as well as on the screen, so that you know what I'm talking about, even with my weird French accent. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what, so maybe it's not important. Anyway, so today I also have a new camera, so I hope the image quality will be better than before. And also I have a viewfinder now, so I can actually see myself without having to set up a big mirror on a chair behind the camera. So I hope it will make things easier to see. And also, this is a very gloomy day, the light is awful, and I think it looks okay, so it's a good thing. But I only have 1 hour of sunlight left. So I will try to make the most of that hour I have. So let's get into things. First, I am not wearing a sweater, I am wearing something light I could wear under each of these without having some fit issues or anything. This is actually my own design. It's a tank top, a cami, I never know how you're supposed to call them. It has a double knit edges, it has an open back, and kind of a cable-y slip stitch design here. It's just a motif I wanted to try out, and I didn't want to do it on a sweater because I need this during summer, so I thought why not a tank top, and I wanted to try out the double knit edges thing. So I just did it. It's a tiny bit too snug, but it fits nice, and yeah, I really like it. Not my colors, but I don't mind. It's okay, it's far from my face, so it's okay. I used Olann Méara, whatever you say it. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, but fingering weight yarn. It's a non-super wash base, and it's really nice to wear. It's a little bit itchy, especially in the summer when it gets hot, which is a shame because this is a summer garment. But yeah, it fits nice, and I used the whole skein. I finished the, how do we call that? Folded over edge with the last bit of yarn I had left. And I think, yeah, I even did the sewing with another color because I didn't have any yarn left. So yeah, that's it for this one. I also wanted to wear a cami underneath because I wanted to show you actually how my body works. Because if you have seen any of my previous podcast episodes, you will hear me complain a lot about how my shoulders fit me bad around the shoulders because I have a dramatic shape around here. And you can actually see better what's happening if I'm wearing something that shows my skin. So, to make it short, I have an athletic build because I climb a lot, and in my family we have always had larger shoulders anyway, but I mean larger upper back area around here. My mother has the same trouble as me when she buys store-bought jackets, like the kind of, how do you call them? Like this smoking jackets or whatever, but for women. We always have the same issue where the shoulders hit like here. We cannot have the seaming exactly at the point of our shoulders because it's just, yeah, it just goes up here. And we also have trouble putting our arms down because usually we have a bulky back, so when we just leave our arm down like this, it just tugs on the seaming behind the shoulders and it breaks. And since I started climbing, it became even worse, so it's really a problem for me, for the fit of my sweaters. So I am going to talk a lot about that during today's video. But so that you know exactly what's happening, basically I have a high trapezius here. Actually, I think I can show you, because from the front you can't see what's happening on the back, but actually I can make the muscles pop out something. So I think... Alright, that's actually what's happening behind. So yeah, it's very bulky there, and basically I need a lot of fabric to cover that up. And what happens with a normal sweater is that all the fabric, the excess fabric I would need on this area to cover this, is just stolen from the shoulders, so I get problems around here. And also my back is bulky, which means it's not that I have a high distance between my armpit and my shoulder, it's that the depth between this point and this one is wider than usual. So I need a bigger circumference, but not really a deeper yoke. It's a little bit tricky, but that's how my body works, and that's how it's so difficult for me to get a good fit for normal fitting designs. I think that's it for the intro. So let's go. First, I think I will go in chronological order, and I will probably put... Oh, I need to take a laundry in 10 minutes. I will probably use my Instagram as a reference for trying my best not to forget to talk about any detail. So the first sweater I actually knit a year and a week ago from today, and I think I will try to make the cool effect of changing in a clap of hands. So I hope this works. This is the Alice sweater by Sarah Knits, and yeah, it's a colorwork raglan sweater, that's it. I knit it using Harrisville Designs Nightshades in the colorway Last Call, which is a teal turquoise blue heathered in a black base. So all the nightshades have black base with some colorful heathering happening, and the daylight is the opposite, so it's a white base with some colorful heathering, whatever. And this is actually my favorite yarn ever I have ever knit with and ever worn. So that's why I wanted to include it, even though I knit it a little bit more than a year ago, because this is my most worn sweater and I just love the yarn so much. Like, I have never found anything as nice as this one. But first, the second colorway, the light blue I used here is Woolberry Fiber Co's Fiber Company's DK base, superwash base, in the colorway Seashore. It was a pre-order from 2 years ago, I think, yeah, summer 2021, or maybe fall, I don't know, 2021. And I had bought 3 skeins to do a t-shirt, but I only used 2, so I had 1 left, and I decided to make it shine in this design because it was actually made for a single skein of hand-dyed variegated colorful yarn for the colorwork, and it worked well. So I can show you from close. As you can see, I did the inside of the collar in the contrasting yarn because I wasn't sure if this non-superwash yarn main color would be itchy or not, so to be sure I wanted to do the inside of this in the superwash soft and smooth yarn. Now I know I wouldn't have needed to do it, but it looks really cool, so I like the effect, so I'm glad I did it anyway. And I also did the matching edges of the cuffs and the hem with this trick. Basically, I do one last row using the contrasting color, and then I do the sewn Italian bind off using this one too, the contrasting color. And it does that little small edge I like. I did change the pattern because when I was done with the color work, the yoke depth was more than enough already, so I skipped the last part where you are supposed to continue with the increases or just knit straight, or I don't remember which one, because it was, yeah, deep enough. Haven't checked my gauge, I have no idea if I'm correct or not. And this is size 2. I'm saying things in the correct order. Do I have anything else to add? Oh yeah, actually I bought 4 skins of the main color, thinking that would be what I would need for a whole DK weight sweater. I had one whole skin left. So basically I knit this one because I had one skin of the light blue left, and then when I finished it I had one whole skin of the main color left. So yeah, it wasn't very helpful, but whatever. I have one thing to say about the fit, is it's a straight raglan, obviously, because the pattern needs to sit nicely around the raglan lines, and I don't like the fit. It's coming up too high on my neck, you can see on my back here, it's sitting kind of low, and actually you can see it's like horizontal. They are short rows, they are in this top pattern here, but they don't make any difference because it's not a compound raglan, and the back raglan and front raglan are the same depth, no, same width, so it just doesn't fit good. That's it. And I don't really like it. But it's kind of big, I have a lot of positive ease, and the yarn is so soft, it really doesn't, it's not as annoying as it could be. So it's still a sweater I really love, but it doesn't fit good. That's life. And I think that's it for this one. I did change the decrease rate for the sleeves, as I always do. Oh, and I did one thing. I did a small gusset below the arm when I picked up for the arm and when I continued for the body. Because when I finished the colorwork section, I actually had too many stitches, both on the arm and on the body. Because I picked a size too big, I think, or whatever, but yeah, so I did a tiny gusset, so I did rapid decreases here and there, and it looks perfectly fine. So I think it's a good trick for anyone that has bigger shoulders and smaller bust or arm, compared to the shoulders, I mean. To do a gusset under the arm on both the body and the sleeve works really well. So that's a trick for you, and it's completely invisible also. Maybe because I'm using a very dark yarn, I don't know, but it works, so that's it for this one. Let's change to the next sweater. The next one is actually not a sweater, it's the only cardigan of the day. And this is the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta. Ozetta? I don't know. And yeah, it's a tent, it's super big, but I love it so much. It's also one of my most worn knits ever. I knit it using Nutiden, Nutiden double, and this is the colorway Botanisca. It's kind of a heathered, soft grey, leaning kind of blue with magenta and yellow speckles. Don't think the camera picks it up because it's so dark. But yeah. And it has pockets, and I like it. And it has the curved hem on the front and on the back. And it doesn't have buttons because I hate sewing buttons. And it will never have any because I just don't want to do it. But I did the buttonholes on the hem, so it's there. But they will never be useful. Ever. Whatever. So this is, I think I need size 2 also. And it's super big because it's supposed to be big. And also my row gauge was too big. So this armhole and everything No, the armhole I did correct. I did a little bit less rows to compensate for the big row gauge. But here this part is knit with increases, so when you are done with the increases, you cannot really change the depth because of the wrong row gauge. So this is just a little bit too deep. And maybe it's part of the reason why this is kind of floppy, I think, because I should have maybe picked up a little bit more stitches for this part, but I didn't. But also I blocked it flat like that, so of course it's naturally wanting to flop inside, and I should just reblock it open, but I'm too lazy. And this gives away the fact that I haven't washed it a single time since last year, even though I wear it a lot, but I don't know, it's Nutiden, it doesn't smell anything. I did put an elastic in here to try and help with the flopping effect. It helped a little bit, but it also made a drag line here. But yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'm often wearing a scarf on top of that anyway, because I wear that when it's cold, so it doesn't really matter. And I will also often wear it with the sleeves folded, because I like to have my sleeves up. And yeah, it fits great. And since it has so much positive ease, the shoulders are okay. The dropping drops. And the fit is nice, because it's super huge, so it's easy to have a nice fit. So yeah, I think I need it a little bit longer, and I have no idea about the yarn consumption. I will probably put the info on the screen at some point, but yeah, I think that's it for this one. There is also, it's funny because a lot of people say that Nutiden peels a lot, but do you see any peeling? Maybe the tiniest bit on here, but yeah, it's okay. Nutiden doesn't peel that much, and yeah, I'm wearing it a lot, it's rubbing against itself, so yeah, it's okay, really. I forgot to talk about the peeling for this one. It doesn't peel at all. Nothing. Even though I have worn it so much for more than a year, and I have washed this one another time, but no peeling at all. That's also why I love this yarn so much. And this one I wouldn't really wear without having something that covers me a little bit more than that, because it can get a little bit itchy over time, because it's Nutiden and I am really sensitive. I will now go and check my laundry, so I will come back after a pause. Alright, next set of laundry is on the way, and this is the next sweater we're going to talk about. So I finished this one, I don't know when, probably in January or something. I think it was the first one from this year, 2023. Yeah, this is the Zig sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I knit it using Nutiden again. This colorway, the dark blue, is Omge. It's dark blue, heathered with black. It's really deep and really beautiful, I really like it. And the light blue is Spörja. It's light blue. And the gold is Gyllengra. I'm sorry, I butchered that also. And yeah, those are... I bought this one separately on another shop update, and then I bought these two together, I think. And I put them in my Nutiden stash, which was in my older apartment, in my previous apartment. They were just displayed in the corner of the living room, and I saw them stacked. It was the light blue, the gold, and the light blue, and I saw them like that. I was like, I need to knit them in that order. I got completely obsessed. It was so beautiful like this in the plates. I don't have them displayed anymore, but yeah, I just got obsessed. And then I saw this design from Andrea Mowry, and I thought, perfect, I have a dark blue to go with them, so I just did it. This is probably size 2, I don't know. But whatever, it doesn't really matter, because I completely changed it. So this is knit bottom up, it's a drop shoulder construction, and So you start with the ribbing. It's a split hem, so you have to knit both separately, and then you join it around, knit the colorwork, knit until the underarm, and then Andrea Mowry almost always does this trick where she will actually cast on stitches at the underarm and then knit the front panel, then the back panel, and knit some short rows to have shaping for the shoulders, and then do a 3-needle bind off here. She does that so that the drop of the drop shoulder goes a little bit lower, because it just looks better like that. And I really appreciate it, because I tend to have problems with my drop shoulders not dropping at all on me. So this is really nice. However, she is known for having somehow tight sleeves in all her garments, and this one had. It's really amazing, because on the pattern pictures it doesn't really look like it's tight, but a lot of people are complaining about the tightness of her arms. So I don't know where that's from, but whatever. My gauge is correct on the arms, so that's not a problem, because she will always say, whenever someone brought that up to her, she will just say, but people tend to have a tighter gauge on the arm, so that's why. And I'm like, no. I do have a tighter gauge sometimes, but here it wasn't the case, and it's tight. And I knit them like size 3, I think. But there must be something off somewhere, I don't know, but yeah, I just remember when I was at the underarm here, and before starting the colorwork, I just knit a lot more than was included in the pattern. But my guess is that those kind of designs, since you are casting stitches at the underarm, you are casting stitches in that direction, so you cannot have the casting of stitches in that direction that you usually have in designs. Like if you knit something bottom up, no, top down, you will knit the yoke, and when you have the separation for the sleeves, you will then cast on stitches at the underarm, which will make the circumference bigger, and it also works well for the fit of the sleeve, because it helps doing a circle around so that you have a flat part underneath. And with this kind of construction you don't have that, because you are casting on in this direction, so you basically have a point underneath the arm. And that doesn't work with the shape of your underarm, which is flat. So maybe that's why the fit is so... because this is completely going in my underarm, like it's touching, even though I made it so much bigger. So yeah, that's probably what's the problem with the issue with the Andrea Mowry's patterns, especially the drop shoulders, is that the underarm is just not shaped correctly for the underarm real deal. So I don't wear this design. I never wear it because it's just too snug here. And since it's the Nutiden yarn, it's kind of itchy, a lot more than the Botanisca, because this gauge is looser, and the tighter the gauge, the more itchy the yarn gets, I find. So this gauge is a lot tighter, and I need to take this off now. I can't wear this next to skin, but it's a shame because it's really beautiful and the arms are too long. But usually I will fold the cuff when I wear it, which is a shame because then it hides the colorwork. But yeah, this is the perfect length for me, and I will usually put it like that when I have to put a coat on, so that my hands are nice and warm in that. I also have another problem with this one, which is on the back. I have no idea if I can show you, but it's kind of baggy there, even though I have a lot of positive ease, but not an obscene amount. But it's still very completely empty there. And I think what's happening is that I have a very bulky trapezius here, as I said before. And imagine as if I had a neck hump, I think it's called, kind of. So this fabric is sitting on top of that bump on my neck, and it's doing kind of a tent shape. I don't know if you can see, but for example, if you take a piece of paper, random white paper, and you put it on top of a ball, like a football, it will make a tent shape. I don't know how to say it. And that's kind of what's happening here. When my shoulders are down, this fabric here is sitting on top of a curved shape, so it's doing that. I have no idea how well you can see that, but yeah. And that's emphasized by the fact that this is a split hem and this does not cinch in at all, which could help with that, but it doesn't. So yeah, those are the two main reasons I don't wear it, which is a shame because it's super cute. I have no idea what I will do with this one, because I could wear it, but it just asks for more effort to make it work than I want to make when I just want to throw on a sweater, you see. So yeah, that's it. Next up we have the sweater that took me the most time ever to knit. And it's just a DK gauge. I don't think I have fingering weight sweaters. This is the No Sweatshirt by Park & Knit. And it has exactly the same look as a sweatshirt, with the hoodie and the cord here. And it just looks so cool. I really like it. I enjoy the color too. And I enjoy the cropped silhouette. I think it's super cute. I really like it. I like the long sleeves. But yeah, I had to change so much of the base pattern. Yeah. And I don't think it fits great either, because it's a raglan without compound raglan. So even though it has some short rows on the back here, the neck is just completely coming to my throat and I hate it. I'm always tugging on it like that, but yeah, you can see then it has some weird pulling happening, and whenever I move it comes back to this place and I really don't like it. So I still wear it, but it's annoying. Anyway, the yarn is... actually I have a friend of mine that started knitting because she saw me knitting and she wanted to start too, which is really cool, I think. And she had bought 3 skeins of a variegated colorway from Woolen Twine. The colorway was Aurora, and it was a festive colorway from not this winter, but the one before, I think. And then after a few months she realized she didn't want to wear that color. She liked it as a colorway but not on herself, so she sold it to me, and I was super happy to get those because I wanted to buy them but I couldn't make my mind when it was time, and then it was too late. So I got those 3 skeins and I had a huge brain fart when I calculated the yardage needed for this one, because this is a DK weight sweater and the yarn I got was fingering. And I basically forgot to double up the yardage I needed because I was holding the strand double. So I was missing half of the yarn. How could I think I could make a DK weight sweater with 3 skeins of fingering with a hoodie? I don't know. I was in the bad place, I think. Whatever. So I finished the yoke. I joined in. I separated for the arms. I knit the body until like there. I knit the sleeves until like there. And then I had to find some more yarn to finish it. So this colorway as I said is variegated. It's a purple and a green, which is the combination of color that fascinates me the most ever, I think. So I really liked it, but it's very difficult to make it work because purple and green they are not opposites and they are not next to each other in the color wheel, so it's kind of tricky to make them work. And so I had to find replacement yarns because I wanted basically to marl a green and a purple in the parts I still needed to knit, but I had to find the correct shades that would fit between them and with the ones I had already. So I finally found some at Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company, Fiber Company, from Emma, and I bought the Wildflower Light colorway for the purple and the Fern colorway for the green, light green. And they worked kind of, but it was not perfect, and they worked with the existing colors but kind of not perfect, so I'm like, meh. I'm not really convinced this is working so well. I actually used what I had left from the base colorway to marl it together with the new ones. So you get the splashes of this colorway here. So it's really helping a lot with the marling. I did that for the sleeves too. It's just at the end for the cuff and maybe this part that I only have the new colorways. But for the sleeves it's okay, I think it works. The marling really worked well. But since the beginning of the round is here at the middle, and I didn't think to change it, because this is inside out, because this is reverse stockinette, I just completely forgot. I had to move the beginning of round, because now I have a very obvious line here in the middle of when I changed my yarns, because I was marling different yarns with each other every 1, 2, 3. I think my repeat was maybe 6 rows long or something. So yeah, I have a very obvious line here, which you cannot see on the... yes, you can. You can see... At the beginning here, you cannot see it because I was hiding it on the wrong side. But then I realized the wrong side is the right side, so then I switched and I put the float on this side, but you can still see it on the wrong side. So... this is so annoying. I hate it, really. I hate this line. And somehow the new yarn, the Woolly Mammoth yarn, has a very different texture. So the texture from this part, top part, is very smooth, kind of hairy and soft. And this looks uneven. Just looks very different, I think. And I don't like it. I think the best solution would be, this is actually Olann yarns. It's also it's the same base as this one. It's the Méara base, fingering weight non-superwash yarn. This is all non-superwash, by the way. And this colorway is burning, and this colorway is darkened room. They are both colorways from the last year's advent. And you could make a pre-order in January for the colorways, and I bought 3 skeins. So this was leftover from one of the skeins. And since it was leftovers, I had only maybe 30 grams left, so I used 10 to do the I-cord, or less, even maybe 5 grams. And if I had more, I would need a big kangaroo pouch here to hide this and the fact that the texture is different. I don't care for the bag because I don't see it, so... and I would have pockets and it would be so perfect. But this yarn doesn't exist anymore. I could unravel the top I knit with the rest of the skein, but I like it, and it's actually one that I love to wear, so maybe one day, probably not, I don't know. It's a shame because this sweater is just so cool. My boyfriend is really jealous of it. Every time he sees me wearing it, he's like, if you ever want to knit me a sweater, do this one, because I love it. And I was like, but you have 10 sweaters with the hoodie, like, well, would you need another one in yarn? And he's just like, because I like them. So yeah, it's just really cool, but the fit is bad. I mean, it's just a raglan without a compound, so it's fitting okay, but not better than that. And I messed up for the marling. Oh yeah, I did also a folded over hem. You're supposed to do ribbing, the same as the cuff here, but I don't like that look. So I just did a folded over hem, and I think it looks great. Looks like it's cut, and I like it. So, the next one is the Piping Hot Sweater by Lily Kate France. And this is a test knit I did for her actually this summer. And I used Noro Kakigori for the base color. The colorway is Inazawa, I think. It's a very nice purple with some magenta, green and blues marling going on. Looks really nice. And the piping detail is made with Woolen Twine Fiber Studio, the same base as this one, the basic base, the original one, which is actually, I didn't say that, but it's the Corriedale sock base. It's a fingering 2-ply non-superwash base. And this one is the colorway Aurora, but this one is the colorway Snowflake. And this is leftover from another top, not a top, but like a bralette I test knit for another designer. So I was super happy to use leftover yarns, but I didn't have enough. And I finished one sleeve, and since I was on holiday, I knew actually I wouldn't have enough, but I was on holiday and I wanted to finish the sleeve. So I did that, and then when I went to the second sleeve, when I came back from holidays, I had to stop like here because I had no more yarn left. But fortunately, I had just bought the purple and the green to complete this one. And you know what? The purple is the same in the Aurora than in this one, the Snowflake. Because this one is a blue and purple variegated colorway. I have no idea if you can see that. So very convenient, and I basically marred the yarn I had left. I cannot even tell which sleeve it is. I marked the Snowflake I had left with the new light purple from Emma, and it looks flawless. I have no idea which sleeve is the one I completed. So yeah, as you saw, the piping is also in the back, and this is a saddle shoulder construction. So you start by knitting little rectangles there, and then you pick up from them, knit the front, the back, join in the round, pick up the sleeves, and knit the sleeves. And this is the best fitting sweater I own, by far. Really. I really love the neckline. It sits perfectly on my shoulders. It's supposed to be a little bit drop shouldery, but it doesn't drop very low on me. But it's okay, because this detail with the satin sleeve with the sleeve cap just looks perfect, and the fit is just so good. But I made a modification unintentionally, because you are supposed to knit the armhole really long, because that's how you can see in the design pictures. The armhole is just very deep, that's how it's designed. And I just missed 10 rows on both the front and the back. I swear it was not intentional, I didn't do it on purpose. As I said, I was on holiday and I was knitting while driving. I wasn't driving, my boyfriend was driving, and I was knitting in the car next to him, and I don't know, it was super hot, it was 30 degrees and my life was a mess, and yeah, I just missed those rows on both the front and back. Which is nice, because actually the armhole is really deep enough, I think, and that makes it easy to put a coat on, so it's nice, it's fine. And what did I change? Then I changed the pickup for the sleeves. I have I have sleeves that are a tiny bit smaller, and I also had to change the short rows because I had less stitches, but it wasn't too hard to do. So worked well in the end, and I'm just super happy about it. But I don't wear it because there is a piping in the back, as I said, and this is a 3D detail, so it has some bulk. And I can feel it when I'm leaning on my back, and I work in an office and I spend my days sitting in a chair and leaning on the back of the chair, and it hurts. It's just very uncomfortable. I just cannot. Which is a shame, because as I said, this is my best fitting sweater, and the fabric is so soft. The Noro is a superwash cotton polyamide, and does it even have wool? I don't know. But it's super soft and super nice to wear. For me, that's really sensitive to wool, it's just priceless, but I don't wear it because of the piping in the back. So annoying. But yeah, whenever I have an occasion to wear a sweater for a whole day without ever getting in a chair, which doesn't happen very often, I will wear this one, but yeah, it's a shame. I have one thing to say about the yarn. This Noro yarn, I used 2 balls, a little less than 2 balls, and both of them had 3 cuts in the yarn. So yes, it's bigger balls because it's 200 gram balls, but 3 cuts in a yarn it has kind of that spin cycle effect, like when there is a, how do you say that? There is a fade happening between the marred yarns. It's easier to see on the sleeve, but there is a section with a magenta, and then a section with green, then a section with nothing. and then green, etc. And it follows a pattern. But since there were cuts in the yarn, it broke the pattern down and it made things less continuous. In the end, it's okay. I think you cannot really tell where the fading got interrupted, but yeah, it was a little bit annoying. And also, since this is not a non-superwash yarn, it was difficult to weave in the ends. I just didn't like it. And also another thing, since the Noro yarn is a single ply, it was really pretty heavily twisted. I mean, when I was putting the yarn from the ball, it was already coiling on itself because it was too much twist. And that means that the whole garment is twisting on itself because the yarn is not well balanced. And if it was just a stockinette sweater, it would be okay, but there is a very obvious detail that's going on in the middle, so it's biasing. I tried my best to block it out, so when there is a sleeve here, it's helping the fabric to stay vertical, but when I joined it around, it starts biasing like that. It was much worse before, so I managed to save it a little bit with the blocking, but yeah, that's it. But usually I can hide it by doing the French tuck, and then it's okay. I'm so bad at French tucking. I don't know why I cannot make it work. It looks big on me. I don't know. Perfect fit, not very comfortable, unfortunately. 2 more to go. I really hope it's not too dark. I hope the new camera does its job. Hi, editing Maya here. I just realized that I completely forgot a sweater. And the reason why I forgot it is ridiculous. It's because I was wearing it. When I picked the sweaters from my shelf, I was selecting the ones I remembered knitting in the past year, but I forgot one of them was literally on me, which is the case again today. So I will do a brief interlude to tell you about this one. Fortunately, I do have footage of me wearing it, so it will be a little bit better to show than here, especially because it's black. So this is just a Ranunculus, actually. I have knit 2, but I gave the other one to charity, and this is the second sample I made. And I did some modifications because I didn't really like the fit of the first one. So what I changed, first the yarn. The yarn I used is Pearl Soho Linen Quill worsted in the colorway Kettle Black. And I used 4 skeins, a little bit more than 4 skeins. And the modifications I did, as I said, first there are 2 different necklines, and I did the smaller one with the tubular cast on, and I omitted the short rows on the front, and I completely changed the short rows on the back. It's difficult to see on this slide, but I did a big section of short rows that are coming all the way to the front, and in the original pattern you only have like a little section there on the back. So I made those a lot bigger, so the fit is really nice. It fits perfectly around my neck, I think, and my shoulders. You can't see anything, black yarn, yay! So that's it, and it's a round yoke with some raglan under the arms, and I moved actually the raglan. I think I took some stitches from the body and I put them on the sleeve. Something like that. I moved the raglan line, basically, and I changed the increase rate. I did a little bit of a compound because I think I increased more on the sleeve than on the body, or the other way around, I don't remember. I did that again to accommodate for the fact that I have a very small bust and I have bigger arms, and yeah. The other modification, my gauge was off because I'm using worsted weight yarn, and this is designed to be knit with lace. And I could have stuck with the gauge in the lace because the lace is knitted on bigger needles, but I didn't want it to, so I just did my own thing. And it worked out, so yeah. since this yarn is a combination of alpaca, linen and wool, I knew it would grow a lot with washing, so I knit my sleeves a little bit smaller than I needed, thinking they would grow a lot with blocking, but they didn't. So actually they did grow a little bit, but not as much as I thought, so now they are too short. This is a high neck thing, very close fitting, and this is the correct length for me. Can you even see that with the light? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, it's too short. So I could add a solid 10 rows, even 12 rows, but yeah, I think I will actually... I'm wearing it a lot, so I can really tell it's too short. It's not going to grow more than that. I really think I should add the length, because until now I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe it will grow a little bit more with wearing and it will stretch out because it's alpaca and linen, but it doesn't. So I will just probably cut something around here, insert 2 needles, I mean, and then cut the row in the between the needles, and then knit a bit, and then graft the 2 pieces together, I think. I won't do it there because this is very... like there is a lot of rubbing happening here, so it felted more than on this area. So I think if I want to add something, it will be less visible here, because the new yarn will be smoother. I also changed the short rows, because since my gauge and my stitch count for the sleeve was different, I had to completely change the short rows for the cuffs. This is what's included in the pattern, but yeah, I just had to change the numbers, and it worked out. I kept the I-cord edging as in the pattern, and looks nice too. And I did change the body, because you are supposed to do a super big ribbing section. And as I mentioned already, or I will mention, I don't know where we are in the video, I don't like ribbing on the bottom of sweaters, most sweaters. So I did the same I-cord detail here than on the sleeve. It's a 5-stitch I-cord. And I think, I didn't do any decreases, because you do rapid decreases there. I didn't do any decreases, however, I changed to smaller needle, and I put an elastic in the I-cord to cinch it in a little bit, because if I just did decreases and the I-cord, I think I wouldn't be able to pass it over my shoulders. So the elastic does the trick. And I think that's all the modifications. Yeah, I think I have just enough yarn to add some length to the sleeves, and then I will have probably 0 yarn left, which is even more satisfying, which is encouraging me to actually do this modification. So that's it for this sweater. So at the end of the video I will talk about how I have knit 7 sweaters this year. You will know that's not true, it's 8. I have knit 8 sweaters. If I don't forget another one somewhere, probably not, but we never know. Anyway, I will let you go back to the video now. Perfect timing, I had to change the battery of the camera, so... the next one is the Lanark sweater by the Rebecca Clow. And I used Woolberry Fiber Company's non-superwash DK base in the colorway Shake Your Tail Feathers, which was a pre-order from the Caboose collection from this spring. Yes. I knit the size 2, and I went through a whole saga with the sleeves. I had to knit one basically 3 times entirely, and they fit great, but they are a little bit too short. Like, if I move around, yeah, they're tiny bit too short. But if I tug on the shoulder like I want it to fit, because this is a drop shoulder, I want the shoulder to be down here, then the sleeve is okay. So I don't want to lengthen them, because I am still hoping that the fabric will loosen up a little bit and I will get sleeves long enough. I am living with sleeves that are too short and shoulders that are too high, and I don't like the fit of this. And it's so annoying, because this is half fisherman's rib and it took me so long to knit, but it's still not perfect. But it doesn't matter, it's okay, I still wear it a lot, it still looks cool, it's still super amazingly soft. Like, This is way softer than superwash yarns, in my opinion, because superwash yarn tend to have kind of, I wouldn't really say plasticky, but smooth, but I don't know, artificial feeling. But this feels like, if I say fleece, like I have no idea how you call that in English, but it's a kind of a lining you put inside hats or inside ski gloves. There is a lining that's really soft, and that's completely plastic made, but it's super soft. And this feels like that, like it's really soft, but it peels like nobody's business. Like I have never seen a yarn peel as much as that one. So this is super hairy and peeling so hard, even though I finished it 1 month ago. And yeah, I don't know if I can show that to you, but yeah, it's super pretty everywhere. And there is just a weird halo happening, and it's not a cute halo like when mohair is used. It's just a halo of the yarn is rubbed off and it just looks less good than when it was just made. So super annoying. I also have super huge peels here. That's because of the zip that's touching this part. Yeah, so the problem with this sweater is that there is no shoulder shaping at all. And I don't understand why, because there are short rows in this part of the collar, so it wouldn't be so hard to make short rows for the shoulders, but somehow they are not there. And yeah, that means the drop shoulder is just not really dropping low enough, in my opinion. I think it should... It's dropping a little bit better than when I finished it, so it's okay-ish, but I purposely decided to knit size 2 instead of size 1 because I wanted the shoulders to be bigger. They are still not big enough for me, in my personal taste, so yeah, whatever. And there is also a little bit of a weird shaping because you are doing, for the smaller sizes, you are doing decreases here before joining for the joining in the round. And then you are casting on stitches under the arm, so there is a weird shaping, like there are decreases and then you're casting on, and I'm like, why? Couldn't you just decrease and then, or don't do the decreases and then not cast on any stitches for the other arm, or cast on less, or I don't know. But then there will probably be the same issue than with the zig sweater I showed earlier, where the underarm is pointy, so it's not fitting very well. So, but then I would have made the decreases gently along here, so that I don't get this weird thing there. I don't know, just bugging me a little bit, but whatever. It's okay, it's still a super cool sweater. I love the color so much, and it's super soft, it's really great. But it quickly became like one of those I don't care sweaters. Like really, I just throw it on, and I just tug on the sleeves, I put them up like that, and I tug on the fabric, and I just don't care about this one. Which is a shame, because it took so long to knit, and the fabric, the yarn was so expensive, because it's hand-dyed luxury yarn. But it's probably the sweater I care the least about. Maybe I should do a depeeling session to help, because yeah, it's just, I don't know. The fabric is just blurry, and there are those things everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, maybe one day I will knit something with the same color feature, and I will just do my thing with the shaping, because there are also no sleeve caps, which I really think should be a thing with drop shoulders, because the fabric is too tight here. Like there is a lot of tension on this part, because this is coming right out of the sleeve of the sweater, I mean, of the armhole, and your sleeve is like that, so of course there is tension here, so there should be short rows, but they are not. So maybe one day I will knit something with same features but better construction, in my opinion, for my body. But probably not, because this took ages and I don't need 2 sweaters with this feature on them. So yeah, I really love it, but at the same time, I don't. Okay, last one. I really hope the lighting is okay. I don't know. So this is the Doppio sweater by Seunghee Knits, Seunghee Hong on Ravelry. And this is a basic raglan sweater, but it has a compound raglan feature, so the raglan line is S-curved, and it has a different amount of stitches for the front and the back, and generally the fit is really thought through, and it's just a super great design. It just fits perfectly. I have nothing to say about the fit, it's just perfect. So actually I said that the piping hot sweater was the best fitting sweater I own, so it's this one and this one. But the thing is, this one is super heavy and super dense. No, not dense, but thick and warm, so it's a little bit less versatile than this one. I used Nutiden yarn held double in the colorway Amanita for the whole sweater, except for the inside of the collar, because it's Nutiden, it's itchy for me, and I didn't want to have this inside part that's touching my most sensitive area be in Nutiden, so I used Gilliat by De Natura in the colorway Opie held double for that inside part, and also for the cast on actually, which is super annoying to do, as you could guess, but I did that. And I'm kind of regretting it. I should have used the other, like the Aran bulky base from the same manufacturer, which is called Cyrano held single, because that would have given me the perfect gauge compared to the Nutiden held double, because the inside of the collar is actually a little bit too big and it's pushing the fabric outwards. Same for the whole, it's just pushing the fabric there, and it's making those lines here, like there, this. This is not because of a bad fit, but it's because the collar is not cinching enough, and it's making that, which I'm not a fan of, but that's completely my fault. So yeah, but I cannot, if it was just picked up and knit from the cast on edge, I could change it, but I can't, because I did the cast on with this yarn, so I should still have like the cast on in Gilliat and then the ribbing in Cyrano, and I don't want to do that. This sweater design is not made to have a collar like this. This is something I took from the Totally Tubular turtleneck design by Park and Knit, but that design has straight raglan lines, which I didn't want to have, so I just merged the two designs together. And that's also why I have knit super long sleeves with folded cuff, because I wanted to have the same cute look as the design by Park and Knit. And yeah, I only changed a little bit of the raglan increases because I wanted to accommodate for the fact that I have a bigger back and shoulders, and I think it worked well. I don't know, because I haven't tried the original shaping, so I don't know if it made a difference or not, but it fits well, so it works, maybe. And I also completely changed the decrease rate for the sleeves, because the first time I knit the sleeve, it was like tight. I had maybe 1 centimeter of positive ease, and it was super tight by the end, because I have very big forearms because of all the climbing I do. So I basically did decreases every maybe 10 rows or something until the elbow, and then I did more rapid decreases until the cuff, and then I knit a super long cuff so that I could fold it. And the sleeve is a little bit too long but it's okay, I don't mind, it's fine, it's just more cuddly and toasty and warm and nice to wear. And I followed the directions for the decreases in the body. It's maybe a tad bit longer than in the pattern, but maybe not even that much. And yeah, the fit is just great. It's just nice. It's fitting. It's just, the fabric is falling perfectly on me. There are no drag lines anywhere. It's just nice, just perfect. Really nice design, I love it. Nothing bad to say about it. There are faux seams or basting stitches that are included in the design, but I didn't use them because they are there for if you use superwash yarns that tend to grow a lot, and the sweater could lose its integrity over time. But I'm using super grippy non-superwash yarns, so I didn't need them, so I didn't include them in my knitting. So that's it. I think I have talked about everything, so all in all it's not a lot of sweaters for a whole year of knitting. It's 7, I think? Yeah, 7. Which is still a lot, but actually not that much. And I'm glad because of everything I did this year, I kept everything. And apart from the zig one, that don't fit really great, I think I did a good job for all of them. They all have like tiny little things that are not perfect, but I don't think I have a single sweater that's perfect. That's yet to happen, but maybe one day. But all in all, I'm really proud of what I've made this year, and yeah, I think I should stop knitting sweaters, but at the same time, yeah, I've talked about that in the latest podcast episode, but yeah, I have enough sweaters, but I love knitting them, so I will see. I will continue to think about what I need in my life, knitting-wise, and maybe I will put more effort into knitting the perfect sweater, even if it takes me 6 months. Or maybe not. I will see. Anyway, it's getting really dark now, so I will leave you there. I will fold this pile of goodness I have here. And oh, I wanted to mention also, I don't really think I have a color scheme. I mean, I love colors and that's it. Like I have the teal, I have purple, I have white-ish, I have dirty grey, I have dark blue, I have red. I just love colors, and I don't like neutrals for sure. I hate brown, I hate beige. Which is a shame because I know they are beautiful, but they don't suit me, so I like to have them in my life, but I don't like to wear them, so that's what I like. Colors and intensity and depth, I guess. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you will have some lovely knitting to keep you company for the end of the holiday season and the end of the year. I hope you spend some quality times with your loved ones, or not if you don't want to, because do whatever you want and do whatever makes you happy. So I will now leave you there. And happy knitting, happy holidays, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year! Bye!